And to have this conversation with us this morning is financial coach Amos Ngahu. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And I know I just said financial coach loosely,
Mhm.
but maybe you can introduce yourself, Amos, to our
Well,
viewers.
That's exactly the title I hold. I'm a financial coach, and my work really is to help people relate better with their finances.
Ah.
You know, we normally have broken relationships, especially mid-month. Yeah, with
That
our money.
relationship.
Yeah, we do that. So I help coach people throughout the seasons of money.
Okay.
When you have, when you don't have, or when you're expecting. So my work is to help you prepare for the seasons.
Why the need to do this? What drove you towards this direction?
Well, it started about 15 years ago, and I used to sell insurance.
Okay.
But every time I'd sell a policy to someone,
Mhm.
over time they would fall off.
Mhm.
Why? Because it's no longer a priority.
Okay.
Let's say they started the policy when they were young, and over time they've started other commitments, they've gotten married, they have kids, but they fall off. And you see, when you fall off an insurance policy, you lose your premiums. So I thought, why don't I use the approach of financial literacy so that before I sell to you a policy, I realize I'll have evaluated if you need it or not, so that we don't waste money, because that may not be the only investment. Is there another vehicle that you can use to help you achieve those goals? So over time, it became a very good platform to help people grow, because they would come back, they would call you for trainings. And then that's how now we're able to get all other sorts of investments, what I call investments with a purpose, so that everybody now finds a vehicle that will help them meet the goals that they have for their finances.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you're an author.
Yes. Yes, I've done a small guide called Turnaround Solutions. And it is basically a practical guide towards, making decisions that will help you in the long run.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's more of a practical guide. It has so many activities that you can be able to do.
I think you'll come back. We talk about this book today. Let's talk about family wealth and wasted inheritance. And
Yes.
we've seen this over and over and over again, like huge empires. When the dawn passes on, then somehow the empire does the same.
Yes.
And I don't know where the disconnect is, but maybe we can start with the basics of what family wealth is.
Well, I think in our culture, talking from an African setup, we've seen people excel in businesses beyond what they expected. Someone started off in, to do small business, but over time it became an empire.
Yeah.
So they never took time to know how to manage it. So you'll find someone has started a business, but he owns majority shareholding. Then over time, let's say they started as a business, they had not registered as a company. So once they register as a company,
Okay.
now they're wondering, who can I trust? I can trust my son, I can trust my wife, I can trust my brother. So it becomes a family thing. So you'll find in the business-owned empires, you'll find majority shareholding, or the majority ownership, or the majority influence is owned by the family members. But then it grows that they did not expect this, they did not plan for transition, they did not plan for inheritance of not just the physical business, but also the vision. So you'll find someone started a business to just support the local community, but they never sold it to the children. So once the children take over, they don't understand the mind behind the vision. So you'll find now everything now starts changing, and you'll find that it doesn't take long to it becomes a going concern.
So we're not involved. First of all, we're not planning
Yes.
ahead
Yeah.
for the empire that we're trying to grow. So by not planning, then we get to a point where it's too big, and now we have to quickly add people onto this
Yes.
bandwagon.
Yeah.
They have no idea where you were going with this, and probably even you had no idea where this was going to go. But then they never see your vision if you picked it up along the way. So if you don't see your vision, then they will never be able to drive it the same way you are, or take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So that is mistake number one.
That's mistake number one. And number two, we also we have a lot of people. Someone who set up an empire, their levels of thinking are way up there, because this is someone who's built something from scratch.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they may not even not see the future, but sometimes there are things that distract them,
Okay.
or some things that just are not so much of a priority to them, because everybody who's doing business is smart. Even today, when you meet, the other day I was doing a drive near the junction, and there's a guy there who it was these cold mornings, and you can tell he's really struggling. He doesn't look like his faculties are all in order.
Okay.
So I like my boiled maize in the morning. So now I chucked it in traffic. The guy just knocked at my window, and we made eye contact, and you're about to make that bite.
Have you seen that video?
No,
The eye contact one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy makes eye contact, and he's like, and I had to part with my boiled maize. But of course, he asked for 50 bob after.
Oh no.
But this is what he did.
Okay.
And this is the part that really fascinated me. He broke the maize into two. He had something that looked like a jacket. He put the half of it in the pocket and started enjoying the other one. What do you think he stored the other half for?
Later, perhaps.
Later.
Yeah.
So even someone like that knows that you need to set something aside for a later date.
Okay.
Okay? So you'll find a decision maker is making probably some emotional decisions based on a family feud. You understand?
Yes.
So you saw someone look at you badly, or they commented at a family event, but then you'll make that decision of, we will not put this person in management, or we will write them off, or we will... So you make a decision that is not really emotionally intelligent.
Okay.
So what happens when you're not there? That other person feels entitled, because when you're alive, you didn't sort it out, isn't
Yeah.
it? But because there was no evidence of disagreement, they come in as...
Oh goodness.
You understand?
Yes.
So we need, when you're making family decisions in terms of business, you need a very sober mind. Okay, that's where emotional competence comes in, because here you're looking at the future of your business. So you need to be very, very, very sober, and especially when you're dealing with children. I have two boys, and as they grow up, you realize they are gifted differently.
Totally.
My little one can really make me do anything, because he's so charming. He's a charming guy. So even when he's playing sports, or he's gone to play a sport, I totally walk away. Because number two, you realize, parents, as if your kids are to inherit your business, we don't teach them to be accountable to people early.
Okay.
Some of the most successful businesses, they don't allow, if the kids are working for them, or they have relatives, or they have family members, they don't allow them to report to them directly.
Okay.
Let them learn early to report to someone else. Let them learn early to be accountable to someone else. So that when you're not gone, they know their systems towards this particular business. Yes. Okay. So that's where those are some of the things that may look small, but over time they build up, and that's how family businesses fall.
You have such interesting ways of just painting the picture for us. I got carried away with the story, but there's something that you mentioned about, people or your children being gifted differently, and maybe the business that you're in is probably not what they would want to be. But then that means it stops being family. Then now you have to look for other people to come in and drive the vision, because clearly the people in your life are not interested to do that.
Yeah.
And it's not wrong not to be interested.
Let me tell you something. Even in the Bible, we all like quoting some of the people, some of the heroes in the Bible. We like Solomon. Solomon was wealthy. He was wise. I mean, who wouldn't want their child to be like Solomon? In the same Bible, there's this guy called, he was called who?
Which one?
Let me hold track of my Bible. There was this guy who used to eat from what fell of the rich man's table.
Lazarus.
Yes. Thank you. Tarudi kanisa vizuri. But why I like this story is Lazarus ate from all his life. We've not been told that he was successful. So when he died, he was lifted to heaven, isn't it?
Yes.
So he ate from what fell from the
Ground, the rich man's house.
man's house.
Mhm.
You know, there's no version of the Bible where you've been told the name of
No.
the rich man.
No.
So that is not significant.
Okay.
So the significance of this is that this guy needs to show that in his life he was just poor, isn't it? So he served his part.
Mhm.
So you will have a variety of children,
That
from
is true.
Lazarus all the way to Solomon, isn't it? So
Yeah.
many stories, others who've gone through suffering. So it's up to us to understand that if your child is gifted differently, don't force them into the business. You know, even from an early age, you can tell. I served in the children's ministry and I learned so many lessons. I ended up learning the lessons more than the kids, because our pastor used to tell us these children are adults in small bodies. They don't listen, but they copy.
Everything.
They copy everything. They will sit the way you sit. They will raise your eyebrow the way you do it. And one of the things I learned is your kids don't have to take over your business.
They don't.
You could be having a mariga or a wanyama in your kids.
Yeah.
They ought to be playing pro and serving their own things. So sometimes also as parents we need to be very careful that we are not playing the role of God in our children's lives.
Absolutely.
So let them learn to take responsibility early. One of the things I tell people is, and this is going to be controversial,
Okay.
a good education is good for your children. It gives them, they stand a good chance of succeeding because it gives them some certain skills that will help them pursue certain careers. A good inheritance will also give them a step above everybody else. To probably they will start at an advantage. But that's not all. That should not be the main thing that you're giving your kids. Is what you leave in them. Okay? Because one of the things I've learned is a lot of kids have been forced. Because I am a doctor, I want you to be a doctor.
Be a doctor.
And personally, if my dad did that to me, I think I'd really struggle. But in my book, I've actually dedicated it to him. Because one of the things he taught me early is to earn my own money. Is to work for him. Of course, he would pay once in a while. Sometimes he would not pay. But guess what? By the time I was 21, I was able to negotiate a deal for myself. Okay? So even kids right now, let not kids tell you what they want and you give them money. The same children's pastor taught me a very big lesson about children. She used to go to take her nieces out every weekend, but she would really spend some good money. You can imagine these malls, the games they play.
Yes.
They want faith. But because it's your money. So one time she did not have money. So what she did, she told them, I'm going to give you each equal amount of money. Once you finish the money, we go home. The party is over. Do you know each one of them came back with change? Because they were planning, they knew we would come back for another day.
Oh.
So now you've taught them a sense of ownership.
Yes.
But what happens to most parents? I want this dish out. Even if I don't have it, I'll probably go to our alternative cash account, which is digital loans.
and chukua kidogo hapo, make baby happy.
It is always, and especially for the boy child, men, we are really struggling. We've not learned this term or this statement called I can't afford.
Yes.
Yeah. And if I'm talking to my children, don't tell them you can't afford. Ask them, how can we afford? You know?
We're going to take a very short commercial break. We're coming back with Amos and we're going to be talking more about this and wasted inheritance. What is that? What does that even mean? 111-444-111. If you have any questions whatsoever, money matters, financial matters, well, Amos is going to be here for you after this very short commercial break. Welcome back to Full Circle with Mwikali. How are you doing this morning? Are you sending in your questions already? 111-444-111. That is our SMS line. Switch TV Kenya on Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. We're talking about family wealth, wasted inheritance. Na kuna swali moja hapa for you, Amos. Hi Mwikali, what happens in the event you lose a relative and the wealth and money has to be taken over by the children? A lot of times you notice this wealth gets squandered, is there a better way to not make family wealth disappear immediately the parents die and they do not leave their name?
Well, it's a very sensitive topic because I have seen, and there's one case that I saw, and it was a close family member. The mom had passed on, but they had divorced with the dad, so she had her own property. But so the next of kin were the kids.
Yeah.
And 2 male, 1 daughter. And in the family setup now, in the extended family, they would discuss the guy as a lost guy, as a black sheep of the family. And now the family was sitting down to discuss, why should we let this guy inherit? And my question comes in, why are you getting attached? If this guy decides, if the mom had not set up in place, or her will was her kids to take it over, if they squander, sometimes you have no choice.
That is true.
So one of the things that we need, because already you're creating pressure to the guy who's inheriting. Remember, like we shared, no one is an idiot when it comes to money. People know they need to do these things. One of the things you can do, and this is where now people find it hard to, take this solution, is tell these guys, we support you, whatever kind of support you need, we are here for you. Okay? This property, just give them just some form of discussion, not pressure of why do you have, what are you doing? No. Remember, they are grown-ups. And it's a bit hard because I tell people to just keep off. If it's not, I know it's hard, but just keep off. Because remember, even today, you know why I call myself a coach? Is because we can discuss about your money here. We talk about, we say, weekly, you will invest, you will save a good portion of your income. But when the salary comes, that text that comes in, your salary has come in, all of a sudden your working style will change.
Yep.
Yeah? Even the way you greet people is good morning.
English.
Is good morning.
Good morning.
Siniaje.
Morgan.
Yeah. And because money has a way of exciting us. Money has a way of bringing certain emotions to us. So that's why I was talking about emotional competence. So you will do your own things. And remember, Amos, on 15th, when your money is gone, I was supposed to do this. Haven't you ever seen that you're more creative in terms of business ideas when you're broke?
COVID taught us that. Didn't you see?
But you see, now for this person, number one, first of all, don't put any unnecessary pressure, because if it goes to court and they're the next of kin, they will block you off, isn't it? They will write you off and they will never talk to you. They will enjoy their property the way they want. One of the things that you can do is create a support system, okay? That you tell them, hey, this is the kind of things that you're expecting. You have our blessings. Please use it wisely. In case you need anything, we are here for you. That creates a comfortable environment for this person to come back to you, or to even sort out services of financial coaches, or even how you can support them in terms of family. So I feel like we should just keep off if it's not our business.
Just let it go.
Let it go.
Watch from a distance.
Yes, and
have
support.
a conversation with them.
Yes.
No pressure.
Yes.
But then just be on the side.
Yes.
But then, is there a way? Well, if there's a will, there's no other way to just interfere. Are there ways, as us now, creating wealth, protecting it from it being squandered by the ones who are coming after us? What can we do?
Well, it's very simple. I have the privilege I have is I've sat with so many people, young, old. And there's some wisdom I've learned from our parents' age, because at 18 they were already getting married, right? By the time they were 25, they had all the kids they wanted. And I learned something, that they were given responsibility early. My dad used to tell me they used to get boom. Little does he know that it was help. He still owes the government. Yeah, but some of that money they used to even educate their siblings. You understand?
Yes.
But now, so for them, they did not inherit much other than the land they got from their parents, but then they built something for themselves. So my perspective is different. It may be controversial, but I don't plan to give my kids an inheritance.
Oh, wow.
Once they get to 18, between 18 and 21, I plan to give them loans.
Loans?
Yes.
Amos loans?
Yes.
At 18?
Yeah, so that I give you like a soft loan, I see how you can grow it, how you
Okay.
can repay it.
Uh-huh.
Because remember, and they must work for it. One of the things we are doing is that we are giving inheritance without showing them the value of work. You understand?
Yes.
So once this person gets an inheritance, they think, this is it. So if, for instance, you're in a business, let's say in construction, you're doing a house for 4 million and selling it for 6 million, you're making 2 million. Give this guy 4 million to supervise the mjengo. Let him build the house, isn't it?
Okay.
Once he builds the house, he makes his profit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell him, bring back my money. Use the 2 million, mali tafika, I'll top up. Once they make their money, tell them now, do you want to go to university? Okay, you have the cash, pay for yourself. Because I do trainings in a certain university nearby here, and you'll find a lot of kids have been forced to do certain courses. Forced.
Because it's in the...
It's not in their passion, it's
It
not
is
in their
not.
drive. So you'll find there are so many dropouts of certain courses because they become difficult and it's not an area of passion. But you see, now if you start teaching this guy a sense of responsibility, our parents already knew what they wanted to become.
That's true.
I know jobs may be scarce right now, but they had a conviction of what they want to do. So allow these kids to make decisions early. You see, one of the good things, or one of the most attractive thing about leadership is seeing the person following you making a better decision that they can live with the consequences. So even when it comes to money, start seeing how they are spending the money. Start seeing how they are working. Even pocket money in high school. You can imagine some of us really struggled. Yeah? Unapewa pocket money, but the instructions. Yeah? And by the way, if you ate the last... let me start. I didn't want to use kukula fare, but you're in high school. Us, we had a basa that we used to deposit our
Yes,
fares.
yes.
The rest you
Unakaa nayo.
unakaa nayo, isn't it? Now, imagine if your child right now, they're on holiday, you work with them and they earn the pocket money and
Yeah.
they go to school. Do you think they will waste? Because it is hard-earned cash. You have now brought in the aspect of work. Because remember, money does not stay where it is needed. It stays where it is respected. And that's where you'll find easy money that comes your way, you will easily let go.
Easy come, easy go.
If I tell you right now, you've just been paid today, and I give you 2,000 bob for lunch, say amen.
Amen. Amen. Why am I slow?
Yeah? And what will happen if you already have cash in your account? 2 days from now, you may not remember that cash.
Yes.
Isn't it?
That's true.
You will not know where it has gone. But think about it. I remember I told you I'm buying you lunch, but I send you in the evening, isn't it? But you've just walked into your house, you are done, your tokens are over, and you don't have anything on M-Pesa. You will remember that 2,000 because it will be so good it will be so practical for you to buy with it.
Yeah.
So that's how you respect money. Start respecting small monies. So if you teach the kids early enough, by the time they're getting to 25, 30, they will have learned how to relate with your business and respect the value of the business. So even if they pursue other things, for them, this is a passive income. Okay. Yeah.
Our time is really running. I think we have a minute to go. I'll quickly just read a question. And then we recently lost our grandmother, and it's been challenged distributing her wealth among the family because everyone wants a piece of it. How do you monetize inheritance wealth like such instead of making it go to waste?
Wonderful. A very close friend of mine lost their dad. And he only has a sister, the only two, and the mom is alive. So now the dad had scattered wealth all over the country. And now getting letters of administration, his car, I mean, you know, all that kind of drama. So I told the guy, because now we don't know who else will go next. For me, I normally prefer, as company, as a family, please register a company, and each of you to have certain number of shares.
Okay.
Okay? So that now all this property is owned by the company, the family company,
Okay.
so that in case any of us leaves,
It is protected.
it is protected.
It is protected.
There are no like gray areas that I owned 20%, my 20% goes to my next of kin, so they are put on board. That makes it easy, because by the time now you are subdividing that land, letters of administration, and let's say that's the grandmother, isn't it? That
Yes.
means the folks are still there.
Yes.
Now for them to get it now and transfer again, it's a whole process. So I tell people, come together, and that's where now we talked about the emotional competence,
Yes.
not being emotionally attached to it.
So our time is up. Our time is up. How can people get in touch with you?
Well, I run Money Clinic.
Yes.
Money Clinic, you can find us on IG, Facebook. So, and then we have a subsidiary of a course we run called Money Gossip. So on Instagram, just follow me on Money Clinic.
Okay.
Yes.
Asante sana. Hi, Mukali, loving the session so far. Amos Ngahu is very wise and always has a great way of putting information out there, learning something new. Julie, thank you so much for your text. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Thank you so much for coming through. We will be right back.